What's up, everybody, and welcome to Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnny Mobley Jr. What are you doing?
Looking at you. I'm his wife, Deirdra.
And we something like an ordinary couple.
With extraordinary purpose. I feel like singing.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Greetings.
Yeah.
Salutations.
Yes, I will.
Accolades.
Yeah.
And blessings.
Yes, I will.
Say it. Baby.
Greetings, salutations, accolades, blessings, and all that good stuff.
Ow. What's up, everybody? What's up, Mo?
What was that?
I don't know. Ow. Hit it hard. Ow.
Now, what exactly are you hitting?
You know what I'm hitting. You know
Why you got low?
You know what I'm
Get
hitting.
Get low.
All right. What's up? How you doing? How was your day?
I'm good. My day was good. How about you?
I'm good.
That's good. What you looking at?
We need to retire that dress in there. You busting up out there.
Oh, no.
Showing the little
You ain't even told me before the show
Jameson,
started.
you're gonna need to put a little smiley face over that. Something, because she around here busting out.
No, it ain't been like that all day.
Mother, well, if you don't know if it been like that, because you ain't even look.
Well, they saw you. They saw they baby. You say, hey.
You should shout out, man.
Okay, I'm done.
Would you say I open that door up?
You open that door up, so you know I'm gonna walk through. So listen, hey patrons, hey mob stars, hey all of y'all. Excuse me. We are doing the continuation of the questions.
Ask the Mobleys.
Ask the Mobleys. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I want you. Oh, I want you. Oh, I want you.
Here
I go. Oh, I want you.
Look, we need to do an intro for our
Right, I think that's what it's gonna be.
We
Here
just
we
go.
go.
We done.
Here we go. Okay, so listen, baby. Y'all, we're excited. Let me tell you why. Because date night is coming. By the time this airs, of course, it'll be a couple Saturdays down the line.
Yeah.
However, we're excited. We are candle making and all that good stuff and having fun on the patio. I'm excited.
Me too.
We ain't been out in a minute.
I can't wait.
What else is coming up? Yeah, you better hurry up.
Your birthday. You took me, kind of caught me right there for a minute.
You better hurry up, sir.
I was like, what else coming up? Anniversary in March. What's he talking about? Birthday. Mrs. Mobley's birthday, the 24th.
And I'm turning
50.
Lord willing.
And
If
together,
something, and the creek don't rise. That's what my mama said.
and together, we go be 100.
We really are.
We are.
So we got some exciting things coming up. Some other stuff we'll share. Amen. I'm grateful. You grateful, Mo?
I am.
All right, let's get into it, as Tristan says. So the continuation of the questions. I actually, if you watched the previous episode, I actually ended that maybe almost halfway to the end. Mr. Mobley had to take another meeting. So we are going to start off with this question. I'm going to do a recap of the question. I've already answered it on the previous episode, but Mr. Mobley's going to answer it, and then we're going to move along. That's all right for you?
Move on. I'm good with that.
For all things Mobleys, go to www.momentswiththemobleys.com. You can get all our information. We are on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, um, whatever, all social media platforms as Moments with the Mobleys, except for Twitter. We're Mobley Moments on Twitter. And so, again, all information you can find on our website. Any consultations for any couples coaching, premarital coaching that you may have need of, we are here for that as well. So there's a free consultation button on the website. Check us out. Boop.
At the bottom.
Boop.
And that's how some people say.
Yeah.
There's a button right there at the bottom.
At the bottom. Right there at the bottom.
Push that.
Yep.
Get your free consultation.
Okay. So here we go. It says, my husband and I got married young and broke. We actually didn't know a lot about each other when we met. It was a whirlwind romance, I suppose. That, or he put me in a real good. Oh, sorry, y'all. Got my glasses. That, or he put it on me real good.
Yeah,
and I couldn't shake him.
He put it on you.
But now we are 10 years in, and he is just as unfocused and lofty as he could be. I would venture to say he's trying to figure out who he is, but he is dragging me along with him, and it's stressing me out. First, he was a police officer, and that was fine, but he was never around. Then he was a truck driver, but he didn't like that. Now he's in between jobs and is trying to find out what he's passionate about. Meanwhile, I'm a nurse and have been a nurse since I graduated college. So as you can imagine, the instability, and finances are falling in my lap. It is not the money, really. I just need my life to be a little more predictable since my job is not. People are always saying, be his peace or helpmate, but it ain't nothing to help, sis. How do I motivate him or undergird him when he doesn't know what he's doing, and neither do I?
Did you put that part about the sis in there? Or that was part of the letter?
No, that's what it said. I know that sounds like me, but...
Yeah. I thought you added your own little flavor in there.
No, that's what she said.
They've been married 10 years?
They've been married. They got married young and broke. Yep, they're 10 years in. She said he's unfocused and lofty. She didn't say.
Okay. Yeah, so all men have a process they got to go through. So to find, their identity, who they are, what they've been created to do, and then their purpose. So 10 years, yeah, it take a little bit. It just does. I didn't find my identity or my purpose until when? What would you say? How many years we was married?
It was a while.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't pinpoint it. But
so sometimes, like with me,
but it's still being revealed though.
Yeah. So and when it comes to us, we don't. Sometimes we hard headed. The unfocused part. So it just happens. But it took a while for me to find mine. And the crazy thing was, I've always been a gift of gab. I've always been able to talk to people, this, that, and the other. But then when I found out what I was created to do, then I changed it to helping folk. Before, I just used I use it to holler at the women's.
Boy, bye.
And now I holler at Jesus. I don't holler at Jesus. I talk to him, and then, we help these families and these marriages. So I would say, yeah, stick it. I think you should stick it out. I think a plan need to be probably put in place. You might need to bring in some outside help, as far as a counselor, a therapist, or something like that. To kind of talk this stuff through. I don't know if you talked to him or not. You say he was a policeman. You didn't say if he liked that, but he stopped because you said he was never home. So thinking you might have had a little something to do with him leaving that job so he can be home.
That's what I thought as I read it.
Yeah. So it's we try a lot of different things before, and it's not just men, it's women. Everybody try a lot of different things, and some things they're good at, but it's not they purpose. It's not what they called to do. So, I think you should wait it out with prayer. But I do think something structure need to be put in place, because if he's in between jobs and you handling the job, and you say she's a nurse, yeah, so
and has been since college.
Yeah, you working some crazy hours. So yeah, he need to be handling stuff, at the house if he's not working. So I just think something structure need to be put in place. Communication needs to happen. Sound like y'all need to talk. That's all I got.
1992 to 2002. So I was thinking of where we were in 2002.
Yeah.
We were back in Savannah, and I finished school. I think you were driving trucks, but once you started driving trucks, you started being consistent with that. It may have been job changes,
yeah,
but it wasn't like career changes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I was working towards something, and I wanted to own my own truck.
Right. Yeah.
So that was a little different.
Yeah, because I graduated in 2000. I want to say from Savannah Tech. So you were, like I say, once we got over here, you were pretty much driving like consistently. Yeah. And again, he just changed, maybe would change a company, but not so much change in actual, like from a truck driver to
I've been in logistics.
A supervisor of a grocery store or something like that or whatever. Yeah, you've continued, once you got in the field, you continued in the field.
Yeah. I've been in logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little over 30 years. So.
But then she said they were young and broke. How young, we don't know. But, broke. For any of you who've been following us, we met at 14.
Yeah.
And so we married at 19. And
we was young and broke. And
right.
I put it on her.
Right. So you got to know that when you marry young, you do go through the stages of growing up.
Yeah, because
So it is you seeing him grow up as well as him seeing you grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give him some time. Give him some time. One thing I will say, if you need help with something like in the house or whatever the case is, then voice that to him. Have a conversation with him. But please don't try to tell him how to be a man. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, somebody else needs to be brought in, a mediator, so y'all can talk stuff out, and then the mediator can kind of mesh it together and then, bring it out the way it needs to come out so he can receive it better. Most men don't receive how to be a man or how a manhood advice from their spouse. Now, I'm in a different place. If my wife had advice for me as a man, I would take it. But I mean, yeah, I'm a thoroughbred, so they don't come like me. They don't come like me.
What's a thoroughbred?
Me and my boys, we thoroughbred, so we, everybody.
What that mean?
Huh?
What that mean?
That mean we take care of all the areas. We got all the areas of manhood, and we humble, but we bold. Mm-hmm. We nurture, but then we strong. We still got strength, and we understand that. We thinkers. We use our minds. We don't use our hands.
Well, you use your hands, but
yeah, and we want to impact. Not only we lead our families for real, and we want to impact people. So that's what we do.
Everlasting impact.
Yeah. My circle ain't big, but the dudes I got in my circle, we all that. Yeah, we them things.
Okay.
So
my wife don't have to. I know about you.
My wife don't have to give me manhood advice, but I do listen to my wife because we won. So if my metrics are a little off, then she had to let me know. Then I get it straight, and vice versa. So we're in a way different place. She's she said stuff to me not to hurt me, but
Right.
to help us.
Speak life. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the difference. And my perspective had to change because I was that dude, you know,
Yeah,
woman
that's what I'm saying.
can't
You
give me
just-
no advice. Which kind of advice you will give me? You know, but
just
yeah.
I think as I said on the last when I answered it on the last episode, and if I said it, I'll repeat it. If I didn't say it, I'm saying it now. Like, look at his heart.
Yeah.
What kind of person he is.
Do we
Because
take-
for me, that was me with you, even during the times when you was just all over the
that was
place.
crazy. Crazy as a mug.
Yeah, so
It's crazy.
that part. Okay, so the next question. I want to say that my husband is the best, and I feel like I am flawed. I'm not the wife that I thought I was going to be in my head. We've only been married 2 years, and I'm having a hard time juggling everything. Oh, she need to give herself some grace. I am not domestic. I cook on occasion, and the house is always decent, but never nasty. His mother was immaculate, and she tries to help me sometimes, but I just feel like I should be better at this. I lived alone since high school and never really cared about all of this, and I ate out a lot. How am I supposed to take care of my man? He is a great provider and has never communicated that he needs these things from me, but I feel like I'm dropping my end of the deal. Wow.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sis. Since Johnny said that in the other question that sounded like me.
Yeah.
Sis, you really need to extend yourself some grace because you're being real hard on yourself. You're doing what you knew before you got married. And so now this is a new place, but you know, you're not flawed. You just need to, when it comes to this area, or like you said, not being the wife that you thought in your head. And I'm curious because if you thought of it in your head, you can take it from there and put it into action. It's just going to take some practice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wasn't domestic, not because I didn't know how to be, but because
she ain't want it.
I didn't want to be. I did not want to be there doing that at that moment, at that time. It just was. It was what it was, and so the I feel like the quicker or the sooner you become honest, real with yourself, the sooner that you're going to accept where you are and then put in the effort to be that wife that you said, you know, whatever you're thinking of in your head. Because from what you're saying, you know, you want to cook and you want to, you know, clean and he, because he's a provider and he takes care of you. And so, like I say, simple steps when it comes to cooking. They have all these, what do you say, baby? All these meal companies that can actually ship the meals to you.
Yeah.
With all the ingredients and all that stuff or whatever. You just got to kind of turn it off as far as, you know, going out. I mean, but if that's what you and your husband want to do and he's happy with it, you know, but let me back up. Have you had a conversation with him? Because you said,
yeah,
it says he's a great provider, has never communicated that he needs these things from me, but I feel like I'm dropping my end of the deal. So, like I said, let me back up and say, did you have a conversation with him and he voiced this was how he was feeling? Because if this is the narrative that you've made up in your head and how you are does not affect the relationship, then that's just what it is. You're making this whole narrative up in your head.
Yeah.
But if he has voiced this to you or y'all haven't had the conversation for him to voice it to you, then have the conversation with him. And so if it's something that he desires for you to cook more, then again, now I can plug this in. You know, they do have, you know, meal kits and all these things that can be dropped off, or you can find different recipes that are really simple. I mean, I wasn't the best cook when we first met. I knew how to make simple stuff. Spaghetti was my go-to. So much so that Johnny don't want it now. But you take simple steps first. You didn't mention anything about any kids yet, but sometimes that's what causes us to be anxious and Debbie Downers on ourselves, is because we make up this whole narrative and this whole story in our head But if he never said anything about it, of course, that's you doing it. And so take it, and this is something that I tell, conversation that I have with myself as well as some of my daughters. Instead of keeping stuff in your head and working yourself up into a tizzy and all these things, write it down. Write it down, or I'll put notes in my phone. I'll text myself and put notes in my phone of things that I need to do, things that I need to take care of, things that I need to work on, things that I may need to schedule. All these things, because once I get it out of my head, then I'm not consumed and I'm not overwhelmed. Again, for the house cleaning, whatever, find out what works for you. If you're not domestic, well, you got to tidy up, like you said, the house not nasty. Depending on if you're working or whatever, get somebody in to come help. Or if you're home and do what works for you is pretty much what I'm saying. But first, talk to your husband and see what his thoughts are on it, because again, you could be making up the narrative. You seem like you invited your mother-in-law's assistance. Yeah. She said let me see. The mom, I'm having cook. His mother was immaculate, and she tries to help me. Tries to help me sometimes, but I feel like I should be better. Practice makes progress. Yeah, practice makes progress. And so just do it until you do it the way, and I'm hope from what this sounds like is that you don't resent your mother-in-law or dislike her for trying to help you. That's always a good thing, because there are things that my mother-in-law had to help me with that I, either didn't really think about, maybe wasn't used to, and I didn't resent her for it, but I welcomed it. There are things that she told me as far as a husband is concerned, and when he comes home, try to make sure that the house is welcoming, and dinner is maybe on the stove, or you've already started dinner and stuff like that or whatever, because he's worked hard all day and you are a stay-at-home mom or whatever. Of course, I didn't figure in all the stuff and feelings and emotions and stuff that I was going through that I never dealt with, and just kind of swept it under the rug. And then, stayed in my head and all these things that I was going through, she helped me with that part of it, and to understand, different things that I didn't realize just from being a new wife. And so that's the advice that I would give you. You're in your head a whole lot. It is what it seems. Take it out of your head. Put simple steps in place to do after you've had the conversation with your husband. Put simple steps in place to do what you need to do so you can be satisfied with what you're giving your husband. And it just goes back, I think, baby, to expectations, because you're expecting all these things. And you said it. You are expecting you to be this type of wife. Have you talked to your husband about what maybe his expectation is for you as his wife? What your expectation? It seems that he is fulfilling those expectations, because you said that he's a great provider. I could talk about this all night because I can relate to this. But the only thing is, I didn't have these thoughts in my head about the type of wife I should be. I was just like, how in the heck did I get here as somebody whole wife and not all these little human beings, they mama? So, that's me. That's my perspective or spin on it.
So the first thing I thought when you read the question was she's in her head. So the first question I would have is, did somebody say something about the way you are a housewife, for one? Did the mama say something? Did your husband say something about how you clean your mama kept the house, or whatever the case is? So those are things that I would ask, and that might have you in your head. Some other things might be, you just in your head. So the one thing that got me and Deirdra where we at is when I had the expectations that I had of her, but never expressed them. And then when I expressed them, it It just wasn't what it was. So through listening to our podcasts, from the beginning, y'all probably listened to all of, our journey. So it was times where I just didn't think I was the man for her. She didn't like me, a lot of different other stuff. But it wasn't until I just looked her in her face and said, I need you to be the best you can be, and I accept whatever that is. And she had to, I accepted her for who she was. That took the pressure off of everything. Cause she was a wife fast. She was a whole bunch of people mamas fast. And, it was a lot of stuff. And she still was working on her identity and her purpose. So, that was kind of tough for her. And, but once I took the pressure off of her, I just said, I just need you to be who you are, and we'll work through everything else. And then that's when it gradually started to build. She began to find who she was and move into who she was and, be confident in it and all them good things. So I would definitely tell you to get out your head. I don't know if you have self-esteem issues, because you said you was flawed. Newsflash, I'm flawed, Deirdra flawed. My producer's flawed. Your husband flawed. Your mother-in-law is flawed. All of us are flawed. All of us are. So nobody's perfect. I would definitely say the two things I agree 100% with Deirdra, what she said, practice, and get out your head. Those two things. Definitely talk to your husband, because you being hard on yourself in your head with this entire story, and your husband or your mother-in-law probably don't even feel that way. So you just hard on yourself because you knew how, I'm assuming you knew how your husband grew up and the mama kept the house nice and all that. So you trying to be that. You not his mama. You his wife. You his wife. So be his wife and allow yourself, just like Deirdra said, give yourself some grace. Allow yourself to grow into who you need to be, because you're probably still trying to figure out who you are. So, yeah, I think I probably just said the same thing Deirdra said, but
it's okay.
It's all right.
It's okay.
All right. Hopefully that helped. If
and you're fine. You are fine. You will do fine. It's okay. Extend grace to yourself, because sometimes we are so busy extending it to others that we forget about turning it around back to ourselves. And so extend yourself more grace and be kinder to yourself, and just step by step, figure out what that looks like for you. And don't let anybody rush you. You make sure you and hubby are on the same page.
That's it.
And you work that plan.
That's it.
And y'all live y'all life the way, with the recipe that y'all created for your marriage, and nobody else's, not even mama's.
And I'm gonna say this last thing. The one thing that I had to understand is, and it took me a while to understand this, to comprehend that me and my wife grew up different in different households. So there's certain things that I was exposed to that Deirdra wasn't. So, I had my mom and dad in the house, and, they were married, and, they had structure and they had certain things that they had. Deirdra didn't necessarily have that. So it wasn't, everybody was kind of.
I had structure, Johnny.
I ain't said you didn't have.
Just wow.
I ain't said you had structure, but a lot of the things that I had and that I saw, she didn't. So I think she saw with her grandmother and all that. And I'm not saying these are bad things, but, with how I grew up, in my mind, my perspective of how our marriage was going to be and how everything was going to be was, I was going to keep a job. I was going to be financially, I was going to keep my family financially stable. I was going to do all these things. So I did certain things to do what needed to do. And I was taught that. So, y'all might come from different backgrounds. So how he takes care of you and do what he do, he probably saw his dad do that or his mom do that. And that's what he saw. So, but he married you. He loved you. And he ain't said nothing to you. You said that in your letter. He ain't said a thing to you. So get out your head and stop thinking that you don't deserve this life in him, because you do. He chose you. So live your life, evolve into who God has created you to be. Take your time and figure what that is out. Just do that. And get out your head and out them stories, because that'll have you way left, man. I'm telling you. Are you on Instagram?
No.
What you was on? I can tell when you're on Instagram, because when you read something, you like this. When you on Instagram, you like this.
You don't know what I was on.
I know you was. I ain't had to look at the screen. I saw your thumb.
It don't matter. I was just thumbing it. That's such a lie. But I wasn't on Instagram. So listen, we're going on to the next question. Johnny, this question is for you, and it says just that. Johnny, what's the big deal with taking your husband's last name? You have 6 girls who you said have gotten married. Well, not all of them are married yet. Do you care about your legacy? I am an only child, and I want to keep my daddy's name. My fiance ain't with it. And hyphenating it sounds like a medical procedure, so that's out. Help me out, aka advocate for me. She's trying to bamboozle you.
She want me to get.
She trying to talk you into being on her side.
And you gonna play this video back for this podcast back for your man and all this. Go ahead.
It doesn't seem like it's a big deal to me, because we plan to have kids and they will have his last name. What do you think, Johnny?
All right, so let me start out with this. What you got to understand about a legacy has to do with what you instill in your children and the people that's connected to carrying on what you do. Yeah, my daughters, I have not pushed them to keep, my last name or anything like that. And this crazy thing is, I did feel like this at one time, because my baby girl, I tried to name her Johnny, because I already knew she would get married one day, and she was gonna be her last name. So that was our last child. So I wanted to name her Johnny. My wife was slick and jazzed it up and put a "sh" on the end of it. So that's her name, Johnnie Sh. So it spelled my name, and then so. And
then I put the SHA on it.
Yeah, but but the legacy lies with what you instill into your children. So we can talk for days of all the accomplishments that our children are doing, and also their husbands. So it's almost like iron sharpen iron. So not only did we instill a legacy in our kids, but part of that legacy is a part of their spouses now. So they building on stuff, So the name. So my question would be: Is this something Daddy want, or is this something that you want? It's probably something that y'all talked about when you were smaller, and it's pretty strong in your DNA. So you wanted to try to do it, but now I believe it's up to the couple. Now I have said, before that, if I married Deirdra and Deirdra had established a platform, to where she was speaking or singing or doing books, whatever the case is, actress, then I get that, some people want to keep their quote unquote name for that. But I would definitely, want her to put a hyphen on it. My wife would change her last name.
Thank you.
Without a doubt. But I know some people that want to do that. But I do believe that this needs to be handled sensitively. I couldn't get it. Mm-hmm. Sensitively. With a conversation, and y'all need to decide on something. I think is based on each couple. So whereas I was like that at one time, I've definitely changed because, you know, although I wanted sons, and we tried, I would not change my daughters for nothing. All of them are successful. They doing their thing. You know, they entrepreneurs. They know their identity. They in their purpose. They doing their stuff. And you know, we have conversations. I have conversations with them. They'll call me and they'll tell me they appreciate me and what I instilled in them, and you know, some of the stuff that they picked up and what I've taught. And so yeah, I couldn't ask for nothing more. I just couldn't. So I think every situation needs to be handled, you know, differently. So I think a conversation probably need to be had. If your husband, and that now I'm thinking, you know, how you want to do this. You can keep your last name and don't have your husband, or you can marry your man, the love of your life, and move on. And I think Dad would be all right. Although it's probably something that he wanted, I think Dad would be all right. And I add this to it. You know, I had 6 daughters. We had 6 daughters. But now I got 5 grandboys. You know, and soon to have many, many more. So, you know, the legacy, you know, now I got a chance to pour into them, you know, and do some other stuff. So the legacy is way bigger than a name. You can have some men have a son and instill and impart into them and raise them and think they gonna have the legacy, and they turn out being a-holes. They doing all kind of stuff. They just off the chain, you know. So you just gotta be. It's all about the relationship and how you want to do it. But every situation is handled different. I'm sorry, sweetie. I know that's probably not what you want to hear, but it needs to be handled different. So, you know, we talking about a name, and you talking about your life and the relationship with the man that you love, that you want to marry. You know, so you got, you know, it ain't about your dad lived his life, and I'm not trying to shorten anything of, you know, but your dad lived his life, and I'm sure he had a full life, and I'm sure he imparted a lot of great things in you, which makes you the woman that you are today. That's his legacy. That's his legacy. Because I'm sure for years to come, you know, the things that he's instilled in you, you will be talking about that and relating it and connecting it back to your father and how you was raised. So his legacy will live. It will always live. My legacy is going to be long. So that's my answer.
And I said what he said.
That was a little long.
No, I'm just saying, ain't no need for me to sit here and repeat everything. I agree with what he said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, absolutely. And just like you said, I don't care how famous I was, because I'm famous.
You are.
Mm-hmm. I was taking your last name before you even asked me to marry you. Mm-hmm. That was just how sure I was.
She was, yeah.
And even if he would have ended up proposing to somebody else, I was still going to have his last name. You can tap your hand all you want.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, sure. Last question. How do I tell my wife that I have a daughter?
What happened now?
Hold up. How do I tell my wife that I have a daughter? This relationship happened while we were getting to know each other, but I cut the woman off when my wife and I were getting serious. We have been married for 29 years, and the daughter is now 31. My wife is going to lose her sugar honey iced tea. I just found out during a recent visit to my hometown, and I feel robbed of a relationship with her, but don't know how to integrate her into my life. This is not as sticky as it could be.
It's not.
It's really not.
It's
because first and foremost, you were talking to somebody when you was talking to your wife, and then when you saw that maybe that your wife was the one, you cut the other person off. Now that part of it, you probably never shared with her. but you know,
how long they been married?
29 years. That was a long time ago.
Yeah, and the daughter is how old?
The daughter is 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so what you didn't put in here was that you knew all along that you had a daughter and maybe had a secret relationship with her, and you know, you could figure out that now it's time to tell your wife. You say you didn't know.
Yeah.
So the deception was, you was seeing another woman while you were seeing your wife. And when you knew that, I guess that your wife was the one, you cut all ties with the other person. The lady probably bitter because you cut the ties with her and was with your wife, pregnant, didn't tell you. You know how the story goes.
Yeah.
And now you just found out on your recent visit to your hometown, and I guess you would feel robbed of it. But the first person now that you know, you're obligated and you must go tell your wife.
Yeah, I agree. You can't. This is not bad. Like Deirdra said, this is not bad as you think it is.
Yeah.
I don't think she gonna lose it, especially the facts are there. Y'all been married 29 years.
Yep.
She's 31. So it's I don't know how long y'all dated.
Probably dated during that dating period.
That's probably what you a little.
Yeah.
Y'all probably dated for about 5 years, and you've been doing what you was doing, and then when you got yourself together and say, yeah, this gonna be my wife. Yeah, so that part probably gonna be, but I mean it was 29 years ago. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? At least 29, at least 30, 31 or better. So I think. But you got, like Deirdra said, you got to tell her.
You must not linger.
This is the thing. She cannot find out about this from nobody else.
Yep.
You have to be the one to tell her.
Then you're going to have issues if she
And then
does.
I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it is because one, you ain't got to pay no child support. Two, she 31.
Yeah.
So we're going to pray that she mature and she's an adult and she just want to get to know you.
Right.
And everything about you and your life, that's what's in it, which includes your wife. So, at this point, you don't really have to deal with her mama because she grown. So it ain't as bad as you think it's going to be. Mm-hmm. But the only reason I would think you would say she gonna lose her sugar honey iced tea is because in that beginning part it's something you
didn't come clean about that.
But you gonna have to come clean now, sir.
Yeah.
Because I mean the numbers and stuff go add up and everything, and I mean it's 21 years. Y'all probably been living a great life, and
29 years.
29 years.
Yeah.
What I said?
21.
Yeah, 29 years. So I think y'all will be all right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure y'all done had little stuff happen in y'all marriage before and y'all got through it. So don't make
the mistake on this end.
Yeah, she can't
and now tear it all up.
She cannot hear it from nobody else, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, she cannot.
And if the woman is your daughter and you found that out and you've solidified that, then she's already here. And so I'm sure at this point, she'll understand that, you didn't know. So it wasn't a matter of you being a deadbeat dad or, choosing to live your life without her being in it. So come clean to your wife. Y'all work that out.
I didn't even say, they don't even be, you ain't even got to come clean. Just tell her.
Well, yeah. I mean,
that's what
I say as far as coming clean.
Just tell her.
As far as telling her. But yeah, just tell her what's going on. And
let her know.
I see this turning out really well if you handle it right.
Yeah.
And their daughter can be a part of, however much a part of y'all lives that she is prepared to be, because she is 31 whole years old.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure she grown and got a whole life and everything.
Hopefully.
Prayerfully.
Right, it ain't a bunch of drama that come with it.
She ain't in none of that, but you analyze that as you go. But at the end of the day, if she's your daughter. Yeah. So, in her life, I don't know what the mama told her about as far as
her
who the daddy was or whatever.
Married somebody
but now
else
that she knows she has a father, and you probably a great dude, so yeah, she probably want to know and see where she come from and what parts of her, characteristics that you have and everything. Yeah. So that's a big part. A lot of adults won't ever admit how important it is to have a parent in their life to see some stuff of why they are who they are.
Why do I react
so
like
it's
this?
It's
why don't I
adults.
like these foods? And
it's adults that really that's still a trauma in their life. And, if they don't know who they are, they just don't know who they are. But I don't think this is as bad as you think it is, man.
Especially if you all have kids from your wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Make that connection can be made. And perfectly this will turn out as a big family or your family that's now accepting her into the family. Because again, you can't change what you didn't know.
Yeah.
And so our prayer is that that's how it'll turn out.
Good. You have to
tell her immediately.
And thank God you ain't say I was married 29 years and I got a daughter.
A 17-year-old.
A 17-year-old, 3-year-old or something crazy like that.
Right. Now I'll be like, sir, just get your stuff and go about your business.
Bruh.
Get your stuff and go about your business.
I think this is gonna be good. And I know,
Get your stuff and go about your business.
I know, but like I said, we don't know the whole course of your marriage and your journey. So I don't know, we don't know what y'all been through or whatever. So prayerfully, it hasn't been no infidelity or nothing like that. But at the end of the day, you have to be the one. And I promise you have to be the one to tell her, bro. You have to be the person. She can't find out. It can't hear about it, and she go with you to the hometown and all that can't be floating. That cannot happen. You got to tell her. She got to hear it from you. So, yeah, man. Yeah, bro. Go on and do that, and make that happen. And then,
amen.
Yeah, let us know how it go. Man. And we'll, like Deirdra said, we'll keep you in prayer that everything will go the way it needs to go for everybody is involved in it. So that's it. That's the end of the questions.
That's it. That's all.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and get on off here then.
Yeah. We hope that all the situations work out for the good, that you'll find the resolve and just find the resolve that works for you in your situation and nobody else, where you'll be healthy and y'all will be happy, y'all will be thriving and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's time to
for
go
all things Mobleys.
Where they going?
www.momentswiththemobleys.com.
Any questions? Give them the email.
Yeah, if you have any questions, our new email is info@momentswiththemobleys.com.
Yes.
So give us anything y'all need, any questions. Keep the questions coming. But I will say, if y'all live in Savannah in the area, Atlanta, and y'all ain't signed up for this date night, y'all listen. We got another one coming up in November. Y'all get your ticket. Get your mind right.
I'm excited about the fun that we're going to have.
We're going to be out, y'all.
Yeah, be easy.
I am your man, Johnnie Mobley Jr.
And I am your woman, Deirdra Mobley.
And this has been Moments with the Mobleys.
We're just an ordinary couple.
With extraordinary... Did I did that? A remix?
I don't know, because you didn't say your part. We're just an ordinary couple.
We just an ordinary couple.
With extraordinary purpose.
Yeah, I guess y'all already know it's Moments with the Mobleys. I don't know why I said that.
This has been
Moments with the Mobleys. I am your man, Johnnie Mobley Jr.
I'm your woman, Deirdra Mobley Jr.
And no, you my woman.
I'm your woman. Yeah.
And
we're just an
ordinary couple
with extraordinary purpose.
Ooh, I'm having some brain farts tonight.
Struggling tonight.
All right, peace out, y'all.
Let me help you not struggle. Thoroughbred. Good night.
All the thoroughbred. Jay a thoroughbred. We thoroughbreds out here.